I saw this video pop up on my feed claiming that everything is evolving into crabs, and I'm thinking, that's ridiculous, right? Like, there's no way that's real. But then they said humans might eventually evolve into crabs too, and at that point, I had to click. I needed to know what kind of nonsense this was. But within the first minute, I realized this wasn't nonsense at all. This is actually happening, and it's been happening for millions of years. So I went down this massive rabbit hole researching everything I could find about this phenomenon, and what I discovered is going to completely change how you see evolution. Because crabs aren't just some random ocean creature, they're apparently the ultimate life form that nature can't stop creating. Before jumping into the main topic, can you please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and also please give me some hype points as well. Thanks, let's move on to the video now. Here's the thing that absolutely broke my brain. Evolution keeps turning completely unrelated animals into crabs, over and over and over again. This isn't a coincidence. It's happened so many times that scientists gave it an actual name, carcinization, which literally translates from Latin to mean becoming crab. The fact that we needed a specific scientific term for this should tell you how weird this is. We're talking about animals that have nothing to do with each other, living in completely different oceans, millions of years apart, all independently evolving into the same crab-like shape. It's like nature looked at the crab design and said, yeah, this is it. This is peak performance, and just kept copy-pasting it across different species. And here's where it gets even crazier. Most crabs that look like crabs aren't even real crabs. They're evolutionary impostors. King crabs? Not real crabs. They're actually giant hermit crabs that evolved out of living in shells and just became crab-shaped because it worked better. Porcelain crabs? Fake crabs. Squat lobsters? Also heading towards crab territory. All of these creatures started as something completely different, and evolution just slowly molded them into crabs because that body plan is ridiculously effective. The crab shape has been independently invented at least 5 separate times by animals that had zero connection to each other. That's not random. That's nature telling us something. So why does this keep happening? What makes the crab body so special? Well, it comes down to something called convergent evolution. When different animals face similar environmental challenges, they often evolve similar solutions. And the crab body plan is essentially a cheat code for survival. Think about it. A crab has a wide, flat body that keeps its center of gravity low, which makes it incredibly stable. That design lets it slip on the rocks, hide in tight spaces, and avoid getting flipped over by waves or predators. The shell isn't just armor. It turns the entire body into a compact tank. And those short, powerful legs, they give crabs insane control over movement. That's why they can move sideways so effectively. They're dodging predators while still being able to face them head on. But here's the question that kept bugging me. If the crab shape is so good, why don't we see animals evolving into lobsters instead? Lobsters are strong, armored, and they've survived for millions of years too. So why isn't there a lobsterization effect? And the answer is actually pretty simple. The lobster body plan is way harder to modify. Lobsters have long, segmented bodies with big tails, and that layout limits what evolution can do with it. You can't flatten a lobster without breaking half its anatomy. The moment you try to compress that long tail the way crabs do, the whole structure stops working. Crabs, on the other hand, start with a compact shape that's incredibly easy to tweak. Their bodies can widen, shorten, or shift direction without ruining their ability to function. Becoming crab-shaped is mechanically easy. Becoming lobster-shaped is mechanically expensive. So, evolution keeps choosing crabs. Now, here's something that genuinely shocked me. True crabs, the ones we consider the original crabs, showed up over 200 million years ago. But here's the thing, they didn't invent the crab design. Other animals were already evolving into crab-like forms around the same time, completely independently. We only call certain crabs true crabs because those were the first ones scientists discovered and categorized. Back then, they didn't have genetics or evolutionary history to work with. They were just going off appearance. So the flat, wide-bodied creatures with tucked-in tails became the official crabs. But in reality, even real crabs are part of the carcinization effect. They didn't create the design. Evolution just kept pushing multiple species towards the same shape. And this has been happening since before crabs even existed. existed. Fossils show crab-like creatures from millions of years before true crabs appeared. Some of those early proto-crabs went extinct because they weren't good enough at being crabs yet. They lacked the hardened shells or the right leg structure. But even though those specific animals died out, evolution just remade the crab design again with different species. It's built into the way nature works. The crab shape will keep forming because it's just an incredibly effective build.
So here's the scary part. What else can turn into crabs? Technically, anything in the right environment. Some shrimp lineages are already showing early signs of flattening out and tucking their tails. Those are the first steps towards becoming crabs. But this really only affects crustaceans fully. We're not going to see lions or humans evolving into crabs anytime soon, so don't worry. Our body plans are built for completely different environments. But other animals have evolved similar shapes for similar reasons. Stingrays, for example, ended up with wide, flat bodies for stability on the seafloor, just like crabs. It's not carcinization, but it's the same concept. Convergent evolution pushing animals towards the most efficient design. So yeah, I thought this was going to be some ridiculous internet joke. Turns out, carcinization is real, it's been happening for hundreds of millions of years, and nature genuinely can't stop making crabs. Evolution doesn't have infinite creativity. It works with what's available. And for crustaceans, the crab shape just keeps winning. Honestly, after learning all this, I get it. If I was evolution, I'd probably keep making crabs too.